So I have something to tell you that might kind of come as a surprise to you. No two families are the same. Shocker, right? Well, the thing is that you know that your family is not the same as your friend's family and their family isn't the same as yours. So you can't expect your budget to be the same as someone else's. One of my favorite things about budgeting is that every budget is unique to each family. And that also applies to your grocery budget. And today I'm going to tell you why there is no such thing as a normal grocery budget. Hey guys, I'm Sami Womack from the Sunny Side Up Life, and today I want to tell you why there is no such thing as a normal grocery budget. So I see this question all the time. I see it in my group and I see it in tons of other mom groups, other budgeting groups all over the place. People want to know, what is a normal budget for a family of 4 or a family of 5 or however many people they have in their family, right? You've probably wondered this same thing. So the thing is that everyone wants to know, it's not that you want to kind of fit yourself in a mold, but you kind of just want to have a guideline, right? Well, today I'm going to tell you why there's really not a good way to ask other people what is a normal grocery budget and how to come up with your own family's normal. So grocery budgets can depend on so many factors, and I've written my top 5 factors here and I'm going to share them with you today. And then at the end of that, we're going to talk about how to come up with your own normal. So the first factor that could determine what your grocery budget will be is the cost of living in your area. Do you live in a big city or do you live in a little town? I live in a pretty small town in Texas, and I can guarantee you that our cost of living here is so much cheaper than a bigger city, say Los Angeles or New York, or even really a mid-sized city, to be honest. So you can't really take into consideration what is normal unless you take into consideration where you live. This also has to do with other countries. And I see people all the time where they say, you know, their country has a higher cost of living or a lower cost of living than the States. And so you also have to take that into consideration. Who are you asking? Are you asking someone who's in the same country as you or lives in the same size city as you? You have to take your reality into account when you're asking what is a normal grocery budget. Okay, so my second factor is family size. Obviously, in my example, I said a family of 4, but you know, sometimes people don't ask that. Sometimes people will say, what's a normal grocery budget? Well, how many kids do you have? Do you have 3? Do you have 2? Do you have 8? And then what ages are your kids? A lot of people will ask, you know, for a family of 4 or a family of 5, but they don't take into consideration what age their kids are. Do you have 2 toddlers, or do you have 2 teenagers? Do you have 2 girls or 2 boys or one of each? Or just because you know the number of the family doesn't mean that it's going to be the same ages or the same appetite sizes. You know, even if you ask their age. I have 3 kids, and at their ages, they all had different appetites. Even when, you know, each girl was 1, they each had their own appetite. So you have to take that into consideration when you're asking about normal grocery budgets. So my third factor is chosen diet. It doesn't have to necessarily be a diet, but what do you eat? What is normal for your family? Are you guys on a paleo diet, or are you vegetarian, or are you just whatever sounds good kind of family? Are you a frozen dinners family? Are you organic only, locally bought? Does someone in your family have food allergies? I hear that one a lot. Like, we can't eat such and such because of allergies. So even though you're asking family size, or you might be asking for a specific city or a specific country, what is your family's chosen diet? You really have to take that into consideration as well. So my number 4 factor is store options. You know, that also has to do with where you live and what do you have available to you and where do you prefer to shop? Do you prefer to shop at local markets, farmers markets, small stores, or do you prefer to shop at big box stores or big name grocery stores? Do you prefer to shop at like Costco or Sam's or Walmart or Kroger? You know, and then you have to take into consideration the different prices. Like, we don't have an Aldi's here, but I've heard that they don't take coupons. But we do have a Kroger here, and they're huge on coupons. So you have to take that into consideration. You know, my family of 5 shopping at Kroger's is not going to be the same as your family of 5 shopping at Aldi's or Sam's or Costco or Farmer's Market, you know. And also, do you just shop at one store? I usually try to shop about 90-95% just at Kroger's, just because I don't really like to take the time to shop around. Or do you prefer to shop around and say, this store has better meat, this store has better produce, and so you shop at multiple stores? You have to take that into consideration also. Okay, my last factor, number 5, is time availability. And I think this one is really huge also, because, you know, you have to take into consideration, are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you a working mom? You know, do you have a stay-at-home dad? What is the situation there? That's going to play a huge role in your grocery budget, because, you know, do you have time to make from scratch, or are you just happy to eat? So you've got to take that into consideration. What do you have time for? Do you have time to prep a lot or not? Also, do you have time to shop around? Like I mentioned, do you shop, you know, this store has better meat, this store has better produce? Or are you like me and you just want to get in there and get your groceries done and get home because you have other things to do? And even if you might spend $5 or $10 more, you're like, I've got to get this done, one stop and I'm out. Are you the type of person that can wait for sales, or do you just need it now? That has a lot to do with time. I know a lot of people will wait for a sale and they'll just stock up on maybe paper towels or something. Or are you out of paper towels and you have to get them right now? You don't care if they're on sale. You have to take the time availability into account as well. Okay, so we've gone over my 5 factors of what your grocery budget depends on. It's kind of my mini rant in a way, that I just want you guys to realize that there really is no such thing as normal, even if you're taking the same city into consideration, or the same family size, or the same diet. There's going to be some of these other factors that you're probably forgetting to take into consideration. So what I recommend, and what I did, was, of course, you want to ask other people for kind of a guideline. I'm not saying don't do that, but what you need to do is establish your family's normal. What works for you guys? So I'm going to tell you how to do that. All right, so I want you to create your own normal. So the first thing that you need to do is what I always recommend is to track your spending. And if you haven't signed up for my free course yet to learn how to track your spending, I'd like you to find the link and do that, because it's going to help you so much. But what you're going to want to do is track your spending. Find out what is your normal. You might not even know. And the way you do this is just by simply writing down and paying attention to what you're spending. And you'll just want to, pick an amount of time. You might want to do a week, what's normal for you in a week, or do a month and maybe take the average of the weeks or something like that. And just really keep an eye on what you're spending. And then you're going to want to try to beat your normal. The only person that you're in competition with is yourself, right? So all you have to do is beat your own normal. And if you haven't been tracking your spending, you might be in shock about what you're spending on groceries. So say your normal is $200 for a week, whatever it is. And you think maybe that's too much. You think, I feel like I'm spending too much. Then you're going to want to try to beat that. Pay attention when you're shopping and see how often you're going to the store. Maybe shop around for a different store and see if maybe they have better deals, or whatever the case is. Take into consideration how much food you're wasting. How can you plan better? All of those factors that I just talked about, can you manipulate any of those in a way that would help benefit you and make a better normal for your family? So just pay attention to what habits you can change. And then you're going to want to just keep continuing to track your spending and keep challenging yourself to get that grocery budget down to where you feel comfortable. But like I said, take all those factors into consideration, and realize that your normal is not going to be the same as somebody else's, because maybe you are a working mom, or Maybe you just don't have a lot of choices in your town of where to shop. Maybe you don't have time to mess with coupons or don't have time to cook from scratch. Maybe someone in your family has a food allergy, or maybe you just, you're on a diet and that's really important to your family. That's okay. I'm not saying that, just because you're on a budget, you can never eat organic, or you have to cut coupons, or you have to cook from scratch. That's not the case at all. Trust me, I don't cook from scratch. I do minimal coupons. I do some coupons, but I'm not an extreme coupon person. But that's what works for my family. So do what works for your family and realize that you're only trying to beat your normal. You're trying to do better than your normal. So track that spending and keep trying to do great things, you guys. You guys are doing so awesome, and I'm so proud of you. And if you haven't signed up for my free course to track your spending, I think it would really help you, and I think you would really love it, and I would love to see you over there. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and leave me a comment. I love to hear your guys' feedback. And if you don't already follow me, I'm all over social media, and I would love to connect with you and get to know you a little bit better. I'll see you in the next video. Seriously though, are you ready to gain control over your spending? I want you to find the link and sign up for my free course. And it's a simple 5-day free budgeting course. I send you an email every day. As soon as you sign up, I'll send you lesson 1 and you can get started right away, and you're gonna love it.